not to be dramatic or anything, but there's a weird smell in my room, or like outside. It's kind of gaseous. So I think I'm gonna die, but if I'm gonna go while filming, at least it's a Dimly video. Hi everyone! Now, I know I am never one for putting effort into my appearance, for both filming and in life in general, but there is a reason for this complete and utter lack of effort today, and that is because this is what happens when you spend 2 days heartbroken, distraught, torn. I mean, we all know what I'm about to talk about, don't we? I knew it was gonna happen, I knew I was gonna be broken. But yeah, this actually, I have to admit, I expected to be still in tears, but I have controlled myself and made myself somewhat presentable. Today I am a part of the Just Don't Mention It blog tour. Once again, not a blog. Do I care? Not at all. I have literally just finished this, and I have not formulated any thoughts. I really wanted to do a good review, but my heart. I'm gonna try, I'm really gonna try, but emotional wreck, okay? Right, Emma. So today is the 21st of June, which means this book is officially published, it's out in the world, well, the UK at least, but I am so obsessed with this book. Like, I didn't think I would love Dimly any more than I do, right? My all-time favourite book, like contemporary book ever, but this bad boy, literally this bad boy Tyler. Fuck these, well no, not this one. See those books? Fuck them. This is where it's at, okay? And I mean, you should read the whole trilogy, but if you never pick up any Estelle Maskame book but one, pick this one. I mean, that's until she writes another book that I think is even better than the last ones, but right now, read this, okay? So, I'm going to do something shocking. I'm actually going to give you a synopsis. I know. So, Just Don't Mention It is the story that we learn in Did I Mention I Love You? Forgot the damn name. Wow. So the story of Dimly that we all know and love is twisted into Tyler's point of view. And we not only get his point of view from that timeline, we also get his story from 5 years ago, which, if you haven't read Dimly, I'm not going to spoil it, but if you have read Dimly, you know the shit that happened 5 years ago. And let me tell you, I knew it was going to be tough, right, because of the subject matter. Oh, see, I should give you a trigger warning, but like, spoiler for why Tyler's why he is. This book deals with some hard shit, okay? And literally, like, look at this. There are a few of those that are just like quotes that I like and whatnot, but the majority of those are, I know they're kind of, I don't have mine sticking right out, so it's kind of hard to see where they all are, but that's basically the points that my heart broke. So yeah, I did try to colour coordinate, but I ran out of blue tabs, so they just kind of became, literally, I don't even know. This book, holy shit. I've already lost my train of thought, so there goes the coherent review. One of the things I was so excited for, and this should be where I kind of mentioned that my reread of the Dimly trilogy kind of went down the drain, because when I was rereading them, I was like, what the fuck is going on in Tyler's head? I just want to know why he's being the way he is, when I know, like, I know why, but like, why? There's a reason Tyler acts the way he does, okay? And I know that, and I knew that in my reread, but I couldn't understand why he was still being that way around certain people, and it was bugging me. This book finally tells me what's going on in Tyler's head, and yes, I obviously gave this 5 stars, let's be real. I gave this 5 stars before it came out, but I've stalked with Estelle. I have not stalked Estelle. I have talked with Estelle about her writing. Just in case you missed a certain video, I'm in the acknowledgements. Yes, I am still fucking buzzing, and I'm gonna brag, I'm sorry. But in the acknowledgements, Estelle officially calls me her writerly partner in crime, and we just talk about books, writing, all that good shit. We've had many a TGI's date where over our mozzarella dippers and chicken fingers we discuss writing, and since Estelle hasn't read my writing, we talk about her writing most of the time. When Dare to Fall came out, we had a discussion about how Dimilly's quite juvenile. It's that sort of not unrealistic but slightly dramatic sort of contemporary, and Estelle's writing was obviously younger and you could tell. And then Dare to Fall came out and I was like, holy shit, is this the same person? So we both kind of talked about how the fact that Estelle was basically just taking the book she'd already written, she was worried that this was going to be quite juvenile because of the dialogue and things, but this was incredible. Like, yes, okay, there was moments where I was a bit like, yeah, okay, I can see that, you know, that was obviously a scene that was written when she was younger and it's had to be written that way because obviously she can't change dialogue. You know, if somebody has said something in Dimily, you know, she can't just change what they've said. Overall, just the writing style felt so much different. I feel like Dimily reads like the typical Wattpad sort of young first book kind of thing, whereas with Dare to Fall and Just Don't Mention It, it very much feels like Estelle's coming into her own writing style, and I am here for it. Like, love Dimily, right? But I am very biased towards the Dimily trilogy in that I was 13, 14. You know, when Estelle started writing it, I was about the same age. I was reading it as she wrote it. You know, the way that Dimily came into the world, chapter by chapter, you know, the readers sort of grew with that story. You know, we were there for like the birth of it, if that makes sense. So we weren't just handed a story in finished form, you know. I read the original books where Eden shot Tyler, and I went through the process of that book coming into the world. So reading it now after the revisions and everything, I'm never going to put a critical eye to that. I'm never going to read that fresh. Whereas with this, although it's the same story, it's all literally written, typed fresh kind of thing. I forgot what I was saying. I just love it so much. What was I saying? You know, when I was doing my, when I attempted my reread of Dimily, I got halfway through and I was like, no, I just want to read Just Don't Mention It. And yeah, I failed at my own readathon. I know, do not come at me about it. Sorry. I obviously love Dimily, I love Estelle's writing, but the writer she's becoming, that you can see, you know, you can see her progression from Dimily to Dare to Fall to this, and I am literally about to wet myself with excitement for her next book and her next book and so on, because I mean, the girl has more talent in one atom of her being than I have in like my entire body. I don't know what it is, you know, and I get it, like, bias, you know her. I can't describe Estelle's writing, it works for me. It's not overly descriptive. She doesn't spend time focusing on mundane details that bring nothing to the story, but at the same time it's not dialogue heavy. It works. It's got a great balance of plot, of characterization, description, dialogue, just everything. It works. So I'm not usually a big fan of dual perspective books, so although this is all from Tyler's point of view, I was a little bit concerned about how I was going to get on with the past present timeline. The only book I can think of that I've read that deals with that is The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared, which I did like, but because I know Tyler so well, I wasn't sure how I was going to get on with it, but it worked. Like, I mean, this book would not have been what it is if it didn't have the past timeline, because that really, having what Tyler went through in his past interspersed with the current plot, that really kind of helps you understand Tyler even more. You're getting to see what he went through, so when he does make questionable choices, although you're still like, Tyler, fucking shake yourself, you understand a bit better. And also, we couldn't have had a chronological book. We could not have had the past 5 years and then Dimily, because I'm telling you, I would have to put this book down periodically. I would, you know, maybe read like 5 chapters and I'd be coming to the end of a present chapter and being like, I can't put up with another past chapter right now, because they just break my heart. It didn't take me long to get through this. I just kind of kept putting off because I didn't want to be an emotional wreck. But obviously, knowing this is the last time that I get to spend with Tyler and Eden without just rereading the books, I wanted to take my time. And then I was just having like, I was kind of flying through the book, but having to take like 5, 10, 15-minute breaks because of how like painful some of the past chapters were. And I am not one that gets very emotional when I read. I'm quite detached when it comes to books, but goodness me, my arm got sore in case you can tell. I don't know what it was. I'm just gonna hug Tyler because he's so precious. With this book, I don't know if it's just because I'm so connected to Tyler or if it's Estelle's writing, but let me tell you, I was a wreck a lot of the time. Like, I was up until about midnight last night, which I know is not that late for a lot of people, but I'm an old granny. I still hate Tiffany with a fucking fiery passion. The girl just... we see her in some of the past chapters, and let me tell you, girl's just been a bitch from the start. I mean, she doesn't even do anything in the past chapters. It's just, she's just got that cocky demeanour. Dave was not as bad, because we don't see him as much, you know, he's not really like affecting Tyler. Like, Tyler's always going to hate a father figure, let's be real, but we're not seeing him treating Eden as like shit so much, so like, he didn't get on my goat as much as he used to. I still fucking hate him, but Peter was the worst in this by far. I could just blabber on about how much I love this, I really could, and I feel like I'm not telling you guys enough. I feel like I'm not giving this a review it deserves. I can't even write one on Goodreads yet because I don't know what to say. Like, people are writing some really like thoughtful reviews and I'm just here like, I love Tyler. You guys have no idea. This was incredible. And you know, a lot of people have issues with books that, you know, like Grey. This is literally, why is that the only book I can think of? But you know, we got 50 Shades of Grey, but from Christian's point of view, I say we, like I've read the books. I read like half the first one. Awful. Why are we talking about that book when I'm talking about this amazing one? Anyway, people are usually like, oh, that's such a cop-out. And yeah, okay, it kind of is. But this actually has a purpose. It's not just there to be like, oh, let's just keep this trilogy going. As a beloved reader and fan of the series, I am telling you, my life is so much more fulfilled with this book in my life. Because, as I said, before I even had this, I was like, without even thinking about the fact this was coming out, I was like, I want to know what's going on in his head. And I got that. And it's perfect. There was nothing I would change in this, apart from maybe like giving Tyler a better childhood and just letting him and Eden be happy. But, you know, that's kind of impossible, so perfect. One thing I definitely have to mention, pun intended, is the page that made me scream, right? Page 414. Now, I know that's very far in the book, but it's not a spoiler, especially not if you've read the none of this book's a spoiler if you've read the original books, but bear with me. In Dimily, I have said to Estelle for years, my favourite quote in the entire book is, because Tyler might have told me his secrets, but now he has a new one, right? Get to page 414, and I'm not even joking, I like was taking heart palpitations and like literally screaming, because the last sentence on that page, I may have told Eden my secrets, but now I have a new one. It's my quote. Literally, I don't know how many times I tell Estelle it's my favourite quote, and she fucking has it in this book. I mean, I'm not saying that I influenced her in any way, but I'm gonna take the credit for that quote. Another thing in the book that I love, I'm now deciding instead of reviewing, I'm just gonna show you things or read sentences out because it means I don't have to think. I'm the worst, I'm sorry. Chapter 10, page 721. Now, those of you who have read Dimly, you will know that there is a scene where Eden is woken up because Tyler's in the front garden, drunk, doesn't have a key, and he's like, hey, let me in. So obviously we get to see that scene from Tyler's point of view. And in it, he's like, I can't remember her name. Emma. And I'm like, that's me. Yes, Tyler. I am the girl that you fancy. That's the third thing of me in that book. I mean, only one of them is legit me, but still, I'm taking it, okay? This book just means everything to me. You know, like, if you've seen the video, I'll have a link below where I talk about my dinner date with Estelle and getting just to mention it and finding out I was in the acknowledgements. It was already, like, an honour, obviously, but I can safely say this is my favourite book by Estelle, but also within the Dimly world. It was Did I Mention I Need You, but this takes the biscuit, oh my god. To be in the acknowledgements of the book that has become my favourite, it probably is my favourite of the year, and that's saying something, okay, because, like, obviously with Estelle's books it's not hard for me to be subjective, but they're obviously going to have that bit of a, like, it's Estelle, you know what I mean? I wasn't even thinking about, like, the fact that this was Estelle's book. You know, I really made sure to be in the mindset of this is a book that I'm reviewing, but for me this was Emma, the Dimly fan, getting the fourth book and reviewing it. This wasn't Emma, the girl who's became friends with Estelle and talks with her about writing, reading the book. And I know people won't believe that. Some of you will be like, yeah, sure, whatever, but I am, hand on heart, on Theodore's life, I would bring him here, but he's not here right now. He's run away, probably because he's fed up of me talking about books. Seriously, on Theo's life, which means a fucking lot to me, okay? Like, see when I was saying about being emotional? If you make me think about, oh, what if, like, everyone in your family died? I'm a cold-hearted Slytherin bitch. Hypothetically, you know, you're asking me hypothetically, I'm fine. You tell me to think about Theodore. Nope, I will cry. So I'm telling you guys that, hands down, judging this equally as I judge every book I read, this is my favourite book of the year. Right now, this is the only book I'm thinking about. I don't know how I meant to start reading something else. Luckily I'm not in any more blog tours at the moment, so, like, no pressure. I'm in awe. You know, Estelle just turned 21 and I'm like, I am 21. I mean, not only do I not have my 5th book published, but how does she write like that? Okay, now I feel really bad about myself. So thanks, Estelle. Appreciated. Great. Anyway, I've managed to keep myself somewhat calm throughout this, and I have no idea if this review, let's be real, it is literally a gush. It's literally me just like, I love this book. I have no words. For now, I am just gonna enjoy this feeling because it has been a very long time a book, like, I'm hugging this book right now, right? The last book I did that with, you can't see it, but it's On the Other Side by Carrie Hope Fletcher, which is on the other side of Dimly. I know, I'm so funny, it's amazing. I very rarely feel this strongly about a book unless I hate it. This is making me want to rethink my rating system. I'm gonna have to make a new shelf on Goodreads because I have a favourite shelf, but this deserves like a god tier shelf. Oh, that's exactly what I'm gonna call it. I implore you, if you have not read Dimly, if you haven't decided to join in with Month of Maskame, which don't worry if you didn't because even I didn't fucking do it and it's my Month of Maskame, so whatever. I implore you to pick this up. It definitely works as a standalone, so if you're like, Emma, I'm not fucking reading 3 contemporary books just for that, fine, read this. And I assure you, you'll want more Tyler in your life, so then you will pick up those books, so just save yourself the time and read them in the best order. I could talk for days about this series. I don't know how this video became half an hour long. Oh my god. I've said it before, I'm gonna say it for like the 1000th time. Read the Dimly trilogy. If you're adamant you're not reading the Dimly trilogy, you're reading this, and then you will want to read the Dimly trilogy. If you don't like the Dimly trilogy or Estelle Maskame, you're wrong. don't at me. You know, if you hate it, it's fine. Tell me if you really want. I will probably shout at you, but it's all in good fun. I appreciate that it's not everyone's thing. You're wrong, but have your opinion, even if it's wrong. Anyway guys, I'm gonna go because I think my dinner's ready. So that's clearly the only thing more important than me talking about Tyler is food. Please read this. It is amazing. My heart is full, my life is complete, my skin is clear, the bees are coming back, life is amazing. Trump's dead, you know, he's been impeached. The world is good because of this book. As I did mention at the beginning, it does deal with some heavy topics, and there is some stuff in the back, you know, some phone numbers and things if it, you know, upsets anyone. Just putting that out there. I don't want to end this video, I just want to keep talking about it, but I need to go. Thank you so much to Black and White, Ink Road, because this says Ink Road now. It's not a black and white Dimly book. Anyway, don't know why that has me emotion. It shouldn't. Thank you so much to the guys at Ink Road for sending me this. For sending me this that Estelle signed. I bought this one because when you see your name in a book for the first time, you have to buy it. Yeah, I love this. I've said that. You get it. You get it. I'm gonna go and sob and wonder what the hell to do with my life now that this book exists and I've read this book and I just want to read it again and again and again. But I have 5,000 other books that I need to read, unfortunately. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if I've influenced you to read this, and if not, what do I need to do to make you read this book, okay? That's all I need to know. If you're not planning on reading this, what do I need to do? And I will do it within reason. Anyway, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!